Thank you so much to everyone who has watched, commented, or subscribed to our channel. We're already at our 50th episode, and to commemorate it, Matt and I played through a favorite of ours, Metroid Fusion. Without further ado, let's get into it.
Alright, hey guys, we're here today, New Game Plus, playing Metroid Fusion.
Doing a controller pass. Matt's got the controller, go ahead and...
I got the... Yep, so here we go, we'll go ahead and get to that title screen there.
So today we're going to be playing Metroid Fusion, which is, as we discussed earlier, restart it so we can actually...
Yeah, I'll go with A.
Yeah. We had to do a little microphone test, we found out there was some issues, and we're re-going in now.
Yep.
So Metroid Fusion is actually the last one in the series.
Correct.
I know you talked about the Prime series, and it actually takes place. They've pieced together the storyline, and the Prime story does actually take place in the main storyline.
Yeah.
But it resolves itself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure the order goes first game or Zero Mission, Return of Samus.
Yep.
Then Super Metroid, then I think, well, then it's Other M, then Prime 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Then Metroid Fusion.
Yep.
I believe is the...
I believe that is the true linear path.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you could also, just count Metroid Prime as its own
as
separate...
a standalone, yeah.
And, not try to deal with the headache of trying to figure all that out.
Also, technically, between 1 and Prime 2 is Metroid Prime Hunters.
Yeah.
Kind of, but, I mean, it's not the best.
I
think you have to hit it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know.
So Samus got infected by a terrible parasite.
The X-Parasite.
X-Parasite. The X-Parasite is real bad. Also, I never suggest you fall asleep and then fly into an asteroid belt.
Well, I mean, yeah, she didn't purposely do it.
No, she didn't fall asleep. She got goop.
She's paralyzed.
Yeah, the goop took control of her. Now, the next Parasite, we're going to learn more as the game goes on. Obviously, me and Matt know all about it because we've played through this game at least 10 times. That's being generous.
Generous.
But the story... This is actually... I think this is the first, Metroid game, with story. With actual story.
Yeah, with, an actual, just hey, here's everything that's going on, not just a Samus go-to planet kill thing.
Yeah. Now, mind you, that's not, true, because all the other games did have story. They were just either in the manual or in the manga or in the creator's brain, and he's later come out and given interviews about further story. A lot of people complain that later games, Other M in particular, I'm going to talk about Other M when we play it. I love Other M personally, but a lot of people hate it. But that's because they don't understand the actual story of the universe.
Yeah.
And they just see... A lot of people just, saw Samus in, the Smash games and were like, oh my god, she's a badass, and then played Other M and didn't understand her character.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that later. I forgot what tangent I started this on. Oh, this game has actual story.
Yeah.
This game has got, a full narrative, a lot of talking, a lot of reading, which is a good thing.
Oh, yeah.
In my opinion.
So, with what's happened right now, so they brought her in... and are surgically removing her suit because the parasite is just taking over.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, she's probably going to die. And then one guy was just like, well, what if we use this last little bit of Metroid cell culture and create a vaccine, since Metroids were designed by the Chozo to kill the X-Parasite.
Yeah, the X-Parasite is natural on planet SR388. That's where they're from. The Chozo flew all across the galaxy to a bunch of different planets, and they happened upon this planet, which is actually their home planet.
Yeah.
SR388 is the Chozo home planet, and it had these X-Parasites, and they created Metroids, which ended up being a much bigger deal, kind of. Because the Federation found out about Metroids, and they're like, holy shit, these things are awful. Samus needs to go kill these, which is what Metroid 2 is all about.
Yep.
So the Federation tasks Samus to go to planet SR388 and kill all the Metroids, because they suck, and they're awful. They literally suck. But, I mean, that was a joke. But she does so. She kills all the Metroids, and then this game takes place. I mean, this game doesn't technically take place immediately, but it's the follow-up, basically. It's the aftermath. So the Metroids were created to combat the X-Parasite. And the X-Parasite is terrible. And no one knew about the X-Parasite because Metroids were there. So once Samus killed all the Metroids in Metroid 2, basically the X-Parasite was free to come back, as it were.
Yeah.
And Samus gets infected, and then this game happens. And this game tells you why, basically the reason that Chozo created the Metroids, and also the reason that, basically Metroids were the better of two evils.
Pretty much.
As terrible as Metroids have been throughout the entire series, the X-Parasite is substantially worse.
Yeah. And also, fancy little tidbit, the cell culture that they used to create the vaccine to cure Samus of the infection of the X was the leftover cells from the baby Metroid from the end of Super Metroid.
Yes, yes. So
Which you made mention that she owes her life to that Metroid 2 times.
Yes. Because not only did the baby sacrifice itself for mommy, spoiler alert if you didn't watch our Super Metroid playthrough, go watch that. One of the most tear-jerking endings to a game, in my opinion. But then they used the samples that the scientists found and created a new vaccine for her.
Yeah.
Now you mentioned the ship. Last time, that ship is not actually Samus's. That's just a Federation ship basically on loan.
Yeah.
Because her ship exploded.
Alright. So, and just in case you weren't reading the text and you were just listening to us just ramble, our mission right now is after Samus regained consciousness after the vaccine was a success, they realized that all of the infected creatures and her power suit that they collected were sent to a space station orbiting SR-3D8, and there was an unexplained explosion from the quarantine bay.
Which, as we mentioned last time, that's not a sentence you ever want to hear in anything ever, is there was an explosion at the quarantine bay.
Yeah.
That's not ideal.
So now we're here to figure out
Yeah,
why.
let's run back.
What's
run
up?
back there.
Run back here?
Because you know what happens later in the game with this area?
Yeah.
I didn't notice you can actually see the hole when you... But,
oh, yeah.
But they do something really clever, so go back to the right. Obviously, when you're running through here, you're just going to run straight through here.
Yeah.
Do you notice the text purposely blocks that part? Because they don't really want you to see that.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. That spot's there, and it's there, and the text is on there just long enough for you to pass that spot.
Wait, no. Can't go that way yet.
Which is actually really interesting. I never really noticed that. Because you never return to that hallway until way later.
Oh, yeah, I'm like...
But that hole's been there that whole time. Biosigns.
Biosigns? That's not good.
Another thing you never want to hear, there's biosigns in the quarantine bay.
Yeah.
Actually, technically, you'd always hear that, because what is a quarantine bay without people to be quarantined? We mentioned previously that other Metroid games, you lose your suit, and you basically restart at level 1.
Oh, it's the X-Parasite.
It's in the air.
But
now we can touch it.
Now we can touch
Not only can we
parasites.
touch it, it heals us. Because we're part Metroid. We were mentioning that the thing with an RPG, or a story in particular, is if it uses the same character over and over again, then there'd be power creep. Obviously, the character would be getting stronger and stronger, which makes sense. But for a video game standpoint, you can't start at the strongest power. You need to have some way to get weaker.
Yeah.
And this is unfortunate
news.
The specimens brought back field team were infected by X-Parasite.
I can mimic the prey.
It's not good.
And then, oh, there it is, the X-Parasite.
It invaded and rapidly reproduces.
Killing the hosts and then assuming its form.
It's terrifying. Only the Metroid vaccine saved your life. Seems... I like how they're like, that's a problem.
Yep.
It's
Also, I mean, when you think about like where Samus was vitally after being infected, and then they're just like, what about the Metroid stuff?
Yeah.
And then how it was just like, oh, she's better now.
Yeah.
It's just like, wow, that was really quick.
It's really quick. That shows just like Because the Chozo manufactured Metroids to fight this, and you can see how good of a job they did. Because, like, as soon as the vaccine went in there, the X-Parasite was like, nope, never mind. You can also restore our latent abilities by absorbing X-Parasite.
Ooh.
But as I was saying, so if you have the same character in a story, they can't start out super strong, or it kind of ruins the tension. So every Metroid game has a way of basically making Samus weak, right?
Yeah.
And I think this game has, like, the most valid one of any other game. Because they literally surgically removed her armor.
Yeah.
The Federation needs you alive.
Yay, I can open gray doors now. Oop. Don't need to go up here yet. I don't need that yet. The Goop Man.
Goop Man. Navigation room. Receive news from headquarters. Support with
Download weapons. Alright, missiles.
Missiles help. Missiles are almost always one of the first upgrades we get.
Yep.
Data room is up there.
Yeah, let's do that.
With missiles, you have about 20% chance of living.
Oh, gee, thanks. Thanks, Optimus Computer.
Yeah, thanks. You're so helpful. So a lot of people complain about, they complain about Metroid Prime for the same reason, that it's, oh, never mind, story. Computer reminds me of a gruff Federation CO I served under the name Adam Malkovich. Called me lady on missions. From anyone else, it would have sounded sarcastic, but Adam always made it sound dignified. Out of respect and irony, I named the computer after him. Very important.
Very important.
Very important. But, what I was saying is a lot of people complain that, like, true Metroidvanias, as they're called, basically give you no direction and you're supposed to just explore a planet.
Yeah.
The term coin is basically a combination of Metroid and Castlevania. They're the two games that really popularized that genre. And a lot of people say Metroid Fusion isn't a true Metroidvania because it gives you so much direction. It's like, go here, do this, do that.
Yeah, oh no, we've detected problem over here.
Go do the thing.
Uh-oh. Power down.
But there's a lot of story reasons why this makes sense. Electric interference knocked out the elevators.
Must be related to the X.
Try to find another way. It's located here.
Huge bio signs. I hope your missiles do the job.
I hope missiles work.
Special type of X parasite. It's the green ones.
Yeah.
Green ones heal missiles.
Green ones.
I don't know how, but they do.
I guess she just uses the bio data to turn it into missiles.
I guess.
Well, I guess because the missiles aren't like... Because in other games, like think of Metroid, Super Metroid for example, enemies literally drop an icon that is a missile, and I guess you can think of it as like ammo that gets reloaded into her gun.
Yeah.
But in this game, like, her weapons are all like bio crafted out of the X parasite.
Yeah, you got a point.
So you kind of got to think of like missiles and things of this game. They're not like physical missiles, but they're like, I guess they're like synthetically created out of parasite goop.
Yeah.
Isn't there a missile? Yeah, there is. Good job. Matt's playing right now, and he's probably as good at this game as I am at Super Metroid.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and save right here.
Make this an entertaining run.
Weep, weep, weep.
But you think of the reasons you can't just fully explore this game is one, Samus doesn't have her powers, which isn't a problem normally, but normally she's just on a world exploring it. This time she's at a space station, which means it's once a lot smaller, and two, the space station is filled with a super deadly parasite that has absorbed all of her information.
Oop.
And that being said, basically she can
Red
go
parasite.
everywhere One, because there's locks, because it's a secured, locked space station, and two, she has very little chance of survival.
Yeah.
So basically, it's not
energy tank.
Energy tanks are great. Basically, it's like she's being gated for survival reasons. I'm really impressed. I wouldn't have gotten that. I totally forgot there's 2 energy tanks.
Yeah, right?
And I would have forgotten about that.
Here we go. We gotta fight first boss. Oh no, look at how big it is.
So I'm glad you have the controller right now. I really love, like, everything about this game, but in particular, like, I love how you see the X-Parasite and you're like, okay, it's just a big boy. And then the Parasite, like, basically turns into a creature.
Come on. Oh.
One of the more powerful first... You can just roll over, can you? Or jump over him and he'll auto-turn.
Ah, you bitch.
He's one of the, like, actually more difficult first bosses, I think. Now that you killed the creature inside, you still have to actually kill the parasite. The stronger parasites are shielded.
Yep.
Morphball ability recovered!
Cool. Because that creature knew how to turn into a ball.
Yeah. So, basically, the creature born out of that ability, whatever the ability is, she used its, like, I guess, bio data, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
To,
I'm shooting these guys.
Because they, like, explode and melt. She basically uses the suit's power to, you know, recover her own powers.
I don't need that yet.
Now we're good. You can just press on. What's your favorite part about this game? Or
this
favorite
game?
thing that Fusion did? Oh, story.
Oh no! The breeding environments! They've been invaded! Who would have saw that coming?
Right. Sector 1, SRX, showing abnormal bios scans. I can't words right now.
No. We gotta go to the main elevator and then go down. Let's see. One of my favorite things about this game,
Those environments are linked to the early explosions.
you know, it's hard. It's real hard for me to actually figure out what I like. You know, I actually enjoy what they did with the missiles.
What about?
So as opposed to like other Metroid games where it's just like you have missile and then you have super missile.
Oh yeah.
In this game, it just upgrades the missile so that way you don't have to keep switching back and forth and worrying about ammo for 2 different kinds of missiles.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like that.
Oh, what this?
This is
Wait, what?
probably the most terrifying part.
Yeah, this is literally like one of the like
And
shit your
wait a minute,
pants moments.
That's terrifying. So notice that's Samus with all of her power. A lot of people complain that Samus shouldn't ever restrain her power, but that right there is why she does, because she literally just shot a missile and exploded the wall.
Yeah.
Which she would do if she wasn't restraining herself. And you'll notice the elevator, there's that powering down noise, and the elevator, kind of the laser disc of floating went away on that main platform. You can go down. The laser disc on the main elevator, it disappeared because she just blew up that elevator.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just took it out.
The brunt of the game takes
Alright,
place
computer.
down here.
Tell me where I need to go.
I like how navigation rooms are map rooms.
Severely damaged.
Severely damaged. It'll be totally unusable.
And it's true. It's like for quite some time.
Some unknown agent is at work. I love the music in this game.
Yeah, so do I.
The X-Parasite is already reproducing in this new environment.
Yes. Yeah, the new armor is very nice.
I love the new armor. Yeah, the new armor is.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do it. Why not?
Yeah,
That way
go
we
ahead,
don't have to
Sam.
listen to the computer talk again.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking we probably won't ever die. Both you and me are pretty capable, but we
no.
might.
Oh no!
On
See,
some of the
blue
later,
doors.
Blue doors
Can't go
are-
through blue doors yet.
You can't go through blue doors.
And like in other Metroid games where it's just like, oh, a different colored door, let me shoot it with a missile. Nah, it's not like this in this one.
Yeah, no, in this game there's actual locks. The Federation is basically locking Samus out of certain areas. And there's a lot of reasons for that. I really like how...
Oh, did you notice that there's a GameCube in this little mass? Look at the top left corner of the debris.
Oh yeah, there is. That's funny. I never noticed that. I genuinely never noticed that actually. I think the X Parasite is just really cool, just in general. But so this is the first sector that they infected, right?
Yep.
It said that. Also, 3 energy tanks this early in the game is kind of incredible. Like we're not even 20 minutes, or actually we're just 20 minutes into the start, but having 3 energy tanks already is amazing. But the X Parasite is so interesting because basically they started... Everything happened because they brought the contaminated suit and the contaminated specimens from SR388 to here, right?
Yep.
So it doesn't make sense that... Because in other games, you know, the world is filled with monsters because, you know, you're on a new world and it's filled with monsters. In this game...
Damn it.
In this game, it was a peaceful space station. So it was a peaceful space station with, you know, normal people and not filled with monsters.
Correct.
So what happens is the X-Parasite went from the quarantine bay. It was covered in specimens of monsters from SR388. It spread. The first thing it did was it shut down the elevators, which forced the Federation to open up the main elevators, right? The main elevators led to the breeding environments. So the very first thing the Parasite did is they went to this place, they infected the air conditioning to change the temperature of the area to be more ideal for them.
Yep.
And then they mass bred.
Lava bad.
Lava's bad, don't want to fall in the lava.
No. There's actually 3 power-ups in this room, and I'm
Yeah.
really sad I can't get more than just that one right now.
Yeah, no. But I think that's so interesting. It's not that they spread through the station, it's that they literally came here to create a more ideal breeding environment. And then they mass bred. And then they basically used all the information they had on SR388 to basically infect the space station with all sorts of creatures.
Yeah.
So the reason the monsters look so much like Super Metroid or other Metroid games, it's not because they are on the space station, it's because the X-Parasite basically... Well, as you can see right now, they literally are infecting the cooling and heating system to create the atmosphere that will let them breed better.
Yeah.
And they're using that to mass spawn new creatures. Which is what makes the X-Parasite so deadly. Because Metroids can just, you know, suck your brains out, but
Yeah.
the X-Parasite can literally take your DNA and recreate it.
Well,
and
hell, actually, Metroids
create-
do more than just suck your brains out.
Well, yeah, but if you're going to compare the dangerousness of an X-Parasite to the Metroids, it's clear which one's more dangerous.
Dumb.
Yeah, that shouldn't happen. And that's just one of the reasons I genuinely think Metroid Fusion is the best game of the series. Not only is it like the first one with story, but it's so much story, and it doesn't even necessarily need to tell you all of it. Is there another power up in here? We don't have bombs, do we?
Yeah, we ain't got bombs right now. I know there's another room that does.
Okay. I like how those guys hide in the background.
Yeah. Thank you.
Interesting. Matt? Do you know what those creatures are?
Zebesians?
Yes. Yes. I would just missile jump. Yeah, there you go. A lot of people are like.
Ah, dumb.
A lot of people who have played Metroid Prime probably think those are space pirates.
Which, I mean, they're related.
Well, not only are they related, they're the same thing.
Yeah.
But well, I don't want to tell
Come
you.
on, damn it.
You don't have to kill him, do you? No, you just have to kill that one. Or you can.
Yeah. That's the thing about.
Oh no, you had to shoot missiles at the wall, remember?
I'm being bad.
Yeah, it's okay. We're kind of just casually playing. We're not trying to speedrun it or go fast. Didn't you need to shoot one more?
Oh god. I'm so bad right now.
It's okay. It's the Let's Play curse, as people call it. Your ability to play games drops as you talk while you play.
It's true.
But I'm not gonna tell you why, because you're actually gonna find out when you play Other M. And it is canon how Zebigians and space pirates are related. And it might make you pretty mad. It might make you mad.
Of why they're the same?
Yeah. There are reasons. But those creatures are native to the planet Zebes, and they are called Zebigians. There's a reason they look just like the way space pirates look in later Metroid games. Or technically earlier for Fusion Station.
Power up. Oh no!
There's one thing I always wondered,
Yep.
because it's never fully explained. Do you think that, because there's really two sides to this coin. Do you think this space station had a Chozo statue in it, and it was there? Or do you think the parasite, knowing Samus, like knowing about her, created a Chozo statue to fool her?
You see, that's the thing is...
Because that doesn't look like where...
But if you see like this like spot that they had it in...
Yeah.
My guess it was the, you remember from Super Metroid, the first technical boss, the false statue?
The false chorizo.
The false chorizo?
Yeah.
I think it was like one of those.
Yeah.
And they had it here while it was still in like its like statuesque stasis.
That's true.
And then it took it over.
Yeah. See, it never is like fully described. It might be described in the manual actually. I don't know.
See right here?
Yeah.
Right there?
Yeah.
That's a speed boost power up.
I remember that.
Just so annoying to get.
Yeah. That's an annoying one. Yeah, I don't know if the manual explains it or if it's in like the official guide or anything like that. Good call. Good call. Very nice job. I would have forgotten that one. Also, wide beam. Not as cool as phaser beam.
Oh, this ain't wide beam yet.
Oh no, what is that? That's
just charge.
Oh, that's just yeah. That's
yeah,
just
I can charge now.
Wide beam we get later. But also, I'm still gonna say wide beam's not as cool as spacer.
No, spacer just sounds better.
It's spread laser. Is there one there? I don't think so.
Thought there was. No, I think there is. But I think you can only get it through like another way.
Yeah. Oh well. We'll come back here later. We'll do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's in the manual or if it's in a game guide or anything like that. If it states why that statue's there, but I think it's I think it's really interesting because this was a Federation research station, but
yeah,
it doesn't. I don't know if that means they took a statue from a planet that had a Chozo statue. I don't know how they would take it. That's another thing. How would they get a statue here? Because it's obviously not native to a space station. That doesn't make sense.
Well, I mean, think about it like any other kind of like archaeological thing for like a museum. I mean, they can just take a statue.
That's true. So the question is did they take the statue or did the... I mean, obviously the X mimicked it or just combined with it.
Yeah, it's just... Wait, no.
You gonna save it? Oh, yeah.
There we go.
You have to, yeah, jump and ball. Wall jumping, guys. Nice job.
Yeah.
Wall jumping in this game is not like Super Metroid wall jumping.
No, you can't, because you go far away from that wall.
That's with Matt holding to the left. It's not like Super Metroid where you can just scale vertical walls. But yeah, I think it's really interesting either way with the statue.
Yeah, we're pretty much done here. Thanks. Water? Me? I love those little things. I don't understand how they fly, but
Yeah,
I love them.
I've never known. Also, what are those things supposed to be? Are they like
Good question.
anger?
But I know as you kill them, they get bigger.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Because the other ones absorb them.
the parasites like combine to make bigger Goop Monster.
Gotta do it. You ready for this?
Why don't you go ahead and do the navigation room? We'll figure out where we're going.
Alright, cool. We got the stabilizers back on.
Back online. Exit made it to other sectors. We're going
Uh-oh,
to tropical habitat. It's showing some abnormalities.
We gotta go to We gotta go to the Tropius district.
The Tropius district.
Yeah, I don't care who you are. If you don't like banana neck, dinosaur flying Pokemon, you're wrong.
Tropius is an interesting creature to say the least. Head to Sector 2, now get going!
Yeah. Infinitely better now, which, by the way, did you know, it's just side Pokemon fact, through breeding, Tropius can learn a move called Dragon Hammer, which is only otherwise learned by a lowland executor.
Neat. As I listened to the briefing, my thoughts turned to Adam. The real Adam understood me well. He would end orders by saying, "Any objections, lady?" He knew I wouldn't disagree. That was just his way of noting our trust. I wonder if I could trust this computer, too.
Yeah. I do really enjoy the inclusion of, like, the
Samus's thoughts and
Samus's thoughts during, like, the elevator scenes, instead of just having it be like, oh, cool, I'm just going up this elevator now.
Yeah. Well, it's not that the other games didn't have story, it's just that hardware limitation and things of that nature didn't allow them to have story.
Yeah.
Go ahead and use that navigation room. I've learned the identify of our mystery saboteur.
It's an X mimicking you.
It's the SAX, or the SAX.
The sax.
It's got your infected suit parts.
Yeah. Use a power bomb to escape quarantine.
Yep.
Terrifying.
That started the disaster. See, Matt? Is it SAX? Is it SAX? Is it Samus X? Or is it Samus Aran X?
It's to me. Well, I mean, I always call it the SAX because
Yeah.
it's Samus Aran
X.
X.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I always call it SAX too.
Yeah.
But...
Yep. Still vulnerable to cold because we're technically part Metroid right now.
Yes. Like Metroids, you can be frozen by an ice beam.
Yep.
The SAX.
Which also means that we can't use Ice Beam.
Yes. Yes. Ice Beam is kind of one of Samus's most iconic abilities, which is why the Samus X SAX has it. That's bad for us, because we are part Metroid, and Metroids are allergic to cold.
Yep.
Per safety protocols, the room that unlocks other rooms is not marked on the map, which is totally legitimate. That's reasonable.
Yeah.
You gotta find that security door. Go to the data room, get that bomb data.
Yep.
Now get going. Go ahead and save it, and we will end this episode here. And I'll take over.
Yeah.
Next episode, I'll be holding the controller and we're going to push on and unlock that door.
Yeah, you're welcome. 3 energy tanks and 45 missiles.
Good job. You found some things that I wouldn't, I'm not going to lie.